Okay, so it looks like live stream is going. Okay. So in today's live stream, we're gonna mostly do some like mathematical exploration. We're gonna study some microtonality stuff, and maybe try to write something interesting. So I just spent the past like fucking 40 minutes trying to figure out how to get the right tuning files all in order, and I finally did so. So now we have 26 equal divisions of an octave, which isn't a standard tuning file that comes in with Ableton 12. But you can, you know, make it yourself using Savish's Scale Workshop website, which I've pulled up over here. And yeah, so I also wrote a Python script which will generate different. It runs through an equal temperament, and then it'll show you every single moment of symmetry, which is basically a generalized scale similar to a diatonic scale that you can generate within that tuning system, such that it preserves certain structures within the scale, right? So if you think about like a diatonic scale in terms of 7-tone or 12-tone equal temperament, you know, the 5 large, 2 small step scale of whole tones and semitones, you can construct that by stacking fifths on top of each other within, you know, 12-tone equal temperament. If you keep stacking fifths up until the very last note, and then you connect the last notes together, you have a 7-tone equal scale, or a 7-tone scale, such that every single note has a fifth above it, with the exception of B flat, which has a diminished fifth, right? And that structure gives you like really interesting shit that you can do. Now, by generalizing this concept such that you can stack any generator within some tuning system, you can get interesting scales. So in 26-tone equal temperament, our fifth right here is a 15 over 20, like 15 steps out of 26 steps, right? And our fifth is going to be tuned at 692 cents, meaning it's about 10 cents flat, or 8 cents flat of 12-tone equal temperament and 10 cents flat of just intonation. Now, if we stack this on top of each other, we can get, as you can see here, a scale with 5 large steps and 2 small steps, which means this is compatible with basically diatonic music. So you can create a diatonic scale in here, and the size of the notes are going to be a little bit off, like as compared to what you're used to, but it still has the exact same structure, and you could write the same melodic and harmonic shit in it, right? So we got, this is a little pretty like rising scale thing, and all of these notes are the 7 diatonic notes. Now it has a little bit of like an interesting quality to it, right? Sounds like a little bit dreamy. I feel like that dreaminess kind of comes out because the distance between the two notes, between a large step and a small step, is now very different, in that they're closer together. A small step is 2 spaces, and a large step is 3 spaces, meaning they're much closer to equal sizes, which starts to somewhat resemble like a whole tone scale, because you know how like a whole tone scale, every single note is the same distance away, so it kind of loses that like modality, the tonic, the presence of the, you know, the like fundamental note of that mode. I feel like that might be why that has that like kind of dreamy quality, and then also the fact that the fifths are extra flat gives it kind of a different feel, right? So I think that's pretty cool. Now I also, I mean, I might honestly try to turn this into like a whole song idea, but I still want to do some more like exploration and stuff like that. So what else I want to do is I want to try exploring other moments of symmetry, because for the most part, you know, if I'm doing everything in like a diatonic scale or whatever, then it's all stuff that we've already become familiar with, and I want to try to explore other stuff. So for instance, if I pull up we're over here on the Zen wiki, we look at 26 EDO. We got this guy over here. Why did I pull this up? Okay, so like if we look over here, we have some interesting information. So our fifth, or our third harmonic, which is our fifth basically, because you know the fifth is 3/2. Our third harmonic is about 8 cents flat. Our fifth harmonic is also pretty flat. Our seventh harmonic is extremely accurate, so that's pretty cool. Our seventh harmonic is represented by this 21 over here. So 21/26, that's going to be our 7/4 interval, right? So if we had to take this guy, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so this is 21. That's like an extra, almost perfectly in tune 11th harmonic. Now, if we take that, and this is 21 steps, and we apply my little Python script to it, such that we use 21/26 as our generator, you could generate a few different scales that have these harmonic properties I've been talking about, right? So, so the three scales that it generates, that this interval can generate within 26 tone equal temperament, there are some downsides. So this prints out, you know, it's 1 large step, 4 small steps. This is the structure that it's in, and then these are the relative sizes of the intervals to each other. So our large step is 6 notes and our small step is 5 notes, which means they're almost identical, which means if we take the ratio of the two of them together, it's almost 1. You know, like 1 exactly means they're all equal. It's like a whole tone scale. And you know, the higher it gets, it means you're squishing the small interval to get smaller and smaller, right? Because like right here, this says our large step is 5 steps, our small step is 1. You know, if this is to say this is like 10 steps and this is 1, then you're just like squishing it to get very, very tiny. And so I think generally, you'd like optimally, you'd want the ratio to be like kind of close to 2, like 1.5 to 3-ish, I think. I'm still like new to exploring all of this, because a diatonic scale, the ratio is going to be 2, right? Because, you know, in 12 tone equal temperament, the diatonic scale, the whole tone is 2 steps, and the half semitone, or the half step, is 1 step. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So you get exactly 2 as the ratio here. So we can make a scale out of this, but it's going to have kind of interesting, the ratio is going to be kind of poopy, right? There's also this very large 11-note long scale here, which has a ratio of 4. 11 notes is kind of daunting, but we can noodle around with it. But we can start off with this 5 large step, 1 small step scale. So each large step is going to be 5 notes, right? So if we go over here, right? So the reason why we're doing this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we just stack this on top of each other over and over and over again, up until, right? You're here, and then this is our small step. So it's just this tiny little leading tone right before. So it's almost like a whole tone scale. Now remember, the reason why we did this is because this gives us a 7th harmonic on every single note, with the exception of this little tiny step right here when we fold the scale, right? Which has interesting harmonic properties and stuff. You can't get this in, you know, 12 tone. And the leading tone is so small that you get this like interesting warbling effect when, you know, you lead into this guy, especially with a long release and some reverb. Wait, no, I want... Which, I don't know, that sounds interesting, I think. And then when we get over here, let's put this over here and silence this, because I just want to consolidate this whole thing. This back over here. Oh, no, I fucked up. Okay. This is also an annoying issue of when you're working in 26 notes. The actual size of the piano roll is really fucking small. You know, we only go down, we don't even get down to the first or the 0th octave or whatever. I guess we go all the way up. No, this goes up super high. Okay, maybe the way that I arranged this, I set this up isn't great. But, here, so we take this, and then we can stretch you out all the way over here. So this is a 4-bar loop, right? Okay, I don't know why the size of this is weird. Let's highlight all of this. So it resets there. And increase the BPM. And we can duplicate this thing over. And then we can start shifting shit around. I don't know. The last bit isn't that great, but I think there's like an interesting idea here. I feel like these are slightly off tune from each other. What's the deal with that? We got this guy's at C. Is that actually? Why the fuck is this so out of tune? Here, let's generate other pigments. Just need to verify. So pigments, I spent like way too long before starting the live stream trying to figure out how to get the fucking micro tuning done properly within pigments, because pigments kind of sucks with like figuring this shit out. So I have to like import this, and then I have to set the reference note to C# for whatever reason to like tune it equal to the Ableton version. And then we paste this MIDI note here, but you here, and then it's 15 cents flat, and so we're gonna have to sharpen this such that it's at oh I hit the fucking arrow key, which deletes everything because pigments is terrible. I have no idea why that's a thing. Okay. Silly me for thinking I could use an arrow key to incrementally adjust a value. Have to do that. There we go. So 490, 444. So 444 is what we need this guy to be. And this is 4. Okay, there we go. Alright, I don't really like it all that much, but I mean, it's interesting to play around with. It sounds very much like a kind of like a kalimba lullaby thing. And I feel like, I don't know, it sounds too much like a whole tone scale. This is a little bit more interesting. What do we got here? No, there's some like pretty cool, like lo-fi sounding. These guys I think are pretty good. Let's put this under perks. What's up? Kun sang? Hit me. Hello. How are you doing on this Saturday? Oh, Jesus Christ. I should be doing work right now. So we got this guy. That's good to hear. That's great. We're doing some weird shit in 26 tone equal temperament. Well, it's not that weird because honestly, right now I'm still using a diatonic scale. I'm hoping I'm doing something else. I don't know. I just drew out a couple ideas, but this one's probably the best one. Yeah, I like it too. So I think we could probably just like have that loop for a minute, and we can have a little build-up thing. We could try recording out the pigments patch, and then we can like warp it and turn that into a riser. And then when we get over here, we'll turn this into a drop, and then the drums and the sub and everything will kick in. So let's just add this whole thing over here. Let's get rid of the auto filter when we get to this point, and then we can add some arbitrary sub bass line, right? So is that even playing? Why is this lying? You playing in 26 right now? What's your deal, man? Do I have some microtonal artists to recommend? Sevish, I think, is probably my favorite. I mean, I know he's probably the most popular, but he makes good fucking shit. It's all electronic, and I'm big electronic music fan. Zayana Eros has some pretty cool like videos on like modal studies and stuff like that, where they're exploring different scales and moments of symmetry and stuff like that. Rose Petricott. So like this video is pretty cool. In this they are exploring a tuning such that you split the perfect fifth into exactly 4 equal intervals, right? So you have a neutral second instead of like a major second or a minor second, such that if you stack 4 of them, then you get a perfect fifth, and that gives it like a unique kind of quality. It sounds fucking neat, yeah. Yeah, I feel when I first listened to this, it kind of like opened my eyes, because at first, like when you first listen to microtonal shit, you're like, whoa, this is weird. But then eventually you start to like hear the colors of all of it. Oh, also, Manfish is fucking awesome. They're really cool. They do stuff in just intonation, which you know, just intonation is where you're approximating exact intervals. So you typically, like a lot of microtonalists, like what I've been exploring has been dividing the octave into different even amounts so that you can apply like kind of, you know, Western theory and to some degree to it, and you can like change key and modes and stuff. But just intonation is where everything is tuned exactly to perfect integer ratios, and you get really cool, interesting sounds out of it. The only downside is like you can't change keys if you're like working within just intonation. What's up, X-Men? So this one's great. So like right here, he's exploring the interval of 29/6, which is like, you'd think, you know, typically in Western music, or just typically in music, we use relatively simple ratios because those are like the ones that are easier to understand. You know, like 3/2, perfect fifth, an octave is just 2. And you can also like abstract that to think about like polyrhythms, where the more complex a polyrhythm is, you stop really understanding what the fuck is going on because you can't zoom out far enough to hear the whole entire cycle within one thing. That makes sense. And that sort of also applies to harmony, because like harmony is like sped up polyrhythms. Anyways, 29/6. You'd think this is really fucking abstract, right? What's cool is that since everything is like so perfectly in tune, you can do some really abstract and complex stuff, but everything is so tuned together that it kind of creates this almost like wall of noise. I mean, if you think about it, whenever you're playing just intonated intervals together, you're kind of constructing you're basically playing the harmonic series of some like imagined like lower frequency note. So another really great microtonalist actually to explore. Oh damn, what's the name? Terry Ridley. Celestial Valley. This one's fucking great. So in this, he's just noodling on a justly intonated piano, basically, with access to a bunch of intervals. And when you play enough intervals, if you play a bunch of complex intervals next to each other, you're gonna end up you're going to be playing the harmonic series of some, you know, imagined note that's much lower. And you can kind of hear that right now, but there are certain points within this. I'm trying to find it. There's like points in the song where he plays a bunch of notes at the same time, plays some crazy chord, and it creates like sub bass. Like you feel it in your fucking soul. It's really cool. You can kind of hear it there. This dude also apparently like helped fucking invent electronic music. Like he was one of like the very first pioneers. He like this style of music, he's literally just like looping like a backing loop and noodling over the entire time. Like the concept of looping an electronic like background thing over and over and over again was like novel at the time and abstract and weird because it was like, you know, boring. And now that's like everything we listen to, right? Anyways, he's doing it again. Yeah, I didn't know who he was, honestly, until a few months ago, but I've been obsessed with this particular album. It's like 4 songs, and they're each like 10, 15 minutes long. Yeah, that's some of my favorite like microtonal music to check out. But Sevish in particular, I'm just gonna turn it out just a little bit longer. I really, really like fucking this, which is like an ambient album, sort of. It's just like one long cohesive ambient piece. Every single song flows directly into the next. Really, really cool, really psychedelic experience. I recommend, like, I don't know, I went on a hike. I just like walked around in nature and listened to this entire thing, and it like blew my mind. And he's playing in like some really weird abstract scales while there's this like background droning like tempura thing going on. What's up, Yo Variable? Yeah, Yo Variable is the one who inspired me to fucking learn 26 EDO. So I've been exploring a little bit regarding, I don't know, I've been trying to explore more different moments of symmetry and stuff like that. So like right here, we just have the diatonic scale, right? Which sounds super cool. And then over here, I mocked this up really shortly, which is in a 5 large 1 small scale. Wait, let's modify this fucking preset, because that doesn't sound good here. Too much delay is going on. Yeah, the piano roll, I spent a minute trying to get this figured out before the stream started, but, well, mostly it's actually pretty intuitive with Ableton. You just have to, like, within Ableton 12, there's a whole tunings file, a tuning tab, and so there's a bunch of different tunings, and you can just like load it, and then it changes the names of all the intervals and everything for you. It's like super intuitive. But they don't have all of them. They don't have 26. They don't have 17, which is like very silly. I don't know why. And so I just went to Scale Workshop. You could generate an Ableton tuning file yourself, and then you just have to name the notes. So I just went through like ZenWiki here, and I just added in individually. You just have to add this little line here and put in quotes each of the names. So it's just, you know, C, C sharp, C double sharp, and D double flat, etc., etc. Because normally it's just like, if you just import it, it's just numbers, and it's not really usable. But yeah. But yeah, if anyone is also interested in microtonality, you should check out Yo Variable's YouTube channel, because they got a fucking Lumatone and very, very cool microtonal keyboard instrument.
It's gonna be 7 to 4. Function as a...
He's mostly like given a lesson, I think, in this video. But
There's like no delay right now.
Really smart kid. I'm not finding the part right now. Anyways, Lumatone, super cool. It makes everything in microtonality like a lot more intuitive, because you can like break things down into shapes in the same way that like the piano makes Western music theory make sense, you know, because like everything in Western music theory is modeled kind of after, or the piano's kind of modeled, I don't know, they're like sympathetic to each other. I can't think of the right word. The piano was like made for Western music theory, and a lot of Western music theory was kind of made with the piano in mind. And then the Lumatone was also made with like microtonality in mind, because you can abstract it into any kind of tuning system. Anyways, yeah, we got this kind of thing going. So I think we're gonna slowly introduce drums over time. So I don't know, I feel like the drums might be a little bit too high energy, even though this is like a very low energy thing. And then let's add utility for automating volume. And then there's reverb going through. I don't like that. Here. Kick in. Oh, silly me. When in doubt, just use the Quanta one, because actually, you know what? I'm gonna use a different kick this time. Except this kick has like reverb on it. Which is weird. I mean, there's also reverb on my group now, so I'll turn that off right here. What is that? What are you doing? It also worked. Okay. Maybe not this kick, because it really just sucks. All right, I take it back. We're just going to go back to the kick I always use. Then we'll make this kick real quiet. And we'll just duplicate that, and then maybe that'll sound good. It doesn't sound good. And then I have to adjust the fades of everything. Alright, let's just copy all this MIDI over here. Do the sub bass pattern. Are you working right? Doesn't sound right. Okay, that sounds a little bit better. We'll lower this an octave. Okay, I don't know why am I drumming? What's happening? Why can't I hear? Oh, there's an auto filter here too. Maybe. I mean, I know it's a very recent and new thing in Ableton, changing the piano roll. Though I wish you can. I don't think you can. Maybe you can. Adding arbitrary black notes would be pretty cool. I know in Scale Workshop, you can add. There's this little key colors thing where you can like add in your alternating black-white key thing. Key colors are cosmetic only, they do not affect the mapping. So I imagine depending on like your DAW or what program you're using, this applies and you can add arbitrary things. I don't think this works for Ableton because if I generate an .ascl file using this, then I don't know, it's the exact same file. It doesn't actually add any text regarding black and white keys and doesn't do anything, so I don't know. Okay, why must you sound like that bad? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, I said. Jesus. It's, like, infuriating, actually. Is there, like, a sidechain thing that's acting up? Why? What's going on, man? It just doesn't want to... Bernard Exolotl. Zolotl? Like this. I dig it. I'm already there. I have no idea who this is, but this is cool already. Sick. I will peep it later. Okay, so... See, like, why the fuck is this... What is wrong with this kick, man? What's with the clicking? It's gotta be a sidechain thing. Oh, it's driving me crazy. I can't. I cannot even. Okay. Wait, better idea. Just EQ out the high end. I don't understand why this is happening. Mostly just exploration. Almost everything I've been doing lately has all been in 22 EDO, which is also really cool. I feel like this is the next one. So one of the reasons why I like 22 EDO is because if you think about it, 24 EDO is a superset of 12, right? Because 24 divided by 2 is 12. You have 12 tone equal temperament inside of 24. Now, 11, if you think about 12 tone equal temperament, 11 and 13 are like as far away as you can get from 12 as you possibly can in, like, you know, an easy way, right? Because if you divide, you know, a length into 12 equal segments and you divide into 11, then those intervals are all going to be very, very far apart in the center area. Now, 22 and 26 is basically 11 and 13 times 2. But as you have more notes, so you're still able to play some of those harmonic intervals, but you also have access to these super alien weird intervals as well that are present in 13 and 11. So you can stray in and out of this like really alien, unfamiliar territory and then touch back into something that's more familiar pretty easily. I'm not really a big fan personally of like 24 tone equal temperament, just because it's just 12 with some extra spicy notes. I don't want extra spicy. I want fucking completely different. I want something totally alien. And the same thing kind of applies for 31 tone equal temperament. I haven't noodled around in it at all, but just like from other people's music that I've listened to, it just sounds like spicier 12 tone, which if I'm listening to microtonal music, I generally want to hear something more abstracted. Yeah, Yo Variable has in particular been exploring 26 a lot, and also there's another guy who streams every single night named Gordon. Fuck, what's his YouTube channel? I'm gonna link it anyways because I need to find it. Gordon Wary. This guy, he's cool. Like, he streams like literally every single night at like midnight PST or something like that, and it's fun. You can go in there and chat about microtonality and stuff like that. He's got a nice little, it's a small but wholesome little community of like 5 or 6 people, me included, who just come in there and chat at night. So it's good vibes, and then you'll learn more shit. You know, it's an endless rabbit hole, and it's a lot of fun. I also recommend, if you want to learn more about microtonality, to check out the Zen Harmonic Alliance Discord, which you can find it on like Reddit or on the Zen Wiki or whatever. It's a very lot of very smart people in here, and everyone's super nerdy about microtonality. It is, you know, like it's gonna seem like you're reading some like technobabble gibberish for like the first long while, but nice. Hell yeah. But eventually it all starts to make sense. There's also like a beginner help thing. You can ask questions and people are generally super helpful. So yeah, it's cool. Okay, so we got some basic drums. and a basic sub-bass pattern. Okay, we clearly need to add more sounds. Here, let's record out, let's resample this. No, I said let's resample this. So we could probably get something cool out of you. Reverse you. And yeah, no problem. I have plans eventually. I have a lot of shit to do. But once I feel a little bit more confident in my knowledge and stuff, I'm gonna try to create like a video series diving more deeply into microtonality and understanding what the fuck is going on, different tuning systems, moment of symmetry scales, which is the stuff I'm exploring right now. Basically, I'm gonna try to make a small series that teaches in order how I personally came to understand everything. So at the very least, if someone who watches it who has a similar brain to me would understand everything a lot quicker, because it's a really difficult like subject to get into for a whole variety of reasons, and there's not really a clear-cut, straightforward way to figure out any of it because it's all kind of self-referential on other parts of itself that is also abstract, and you ask people questions and then they just throw more jargon at you. So I think that could be useful. I have one video already on microtonality and using the microtuner Ableton device, but it's like a little bit outdated, and I feel like I could have done a lot of the explanations a lot better. And now Ableton 12 has like more microtonal capable stuff. So I definitely plan on doing like another one at some point. All right, let's take the formant. Let's get the formant glitch generator guy right over here. You even made your own tuning. What kind of tuning? Like, did you like use microtuner and just like tweak different intervals by ear until you got something kind of cool? Because I've also have an EP coming out where basically it's all like quote unquote microtonal, but I just randomize every single note until I got something kind of cool sounding, which is also a very fun approach I would recommend. I'm on Spot. Yeah, I'm on Spotify. You just Paleac. I am. I'm also on Bandcamp if you want to like buy music. And I'm also on SoundCloud. I have more stuff on SoundCloud because I have like some mixes on there with like all original music that's unreleased. So like, which I also have an ambient mix on my YouTube channel. I think it's on my front page usually if I'm like not streaming and you click on my YouTube, it'll be like listen to the ambient mix, and then no one does it, which is annoying. But I'm pretty happy with that, and that's like almost all original stuff that I've made in like the live streams. Let's get an auto filter and then do some like sweepy dudes because we like when things sweep. We like them when they sweep slow. Kind of cool. Let's just freeze and flatten this with the filter movement on it, and then we can glitch it some more. So for about the past 2 years, I've been working on a way to create harmonies based about the spectra of the instruments and the resonance and it can be applied to different tunings. I see. Yeah, so I would yeah, exploring microtonality and just intonation in particular would probably give you a bunch of answers specifically in regards to that. Actually, the other day, I had a bunch of revelations. So I was playing the didgeridoo, right? As you know, as you should all play the didgeridoo. Didgeridoo's really cool. And I was playing it into my microphone, and I was looking at the spectrogram and an oscilloscope of what was coming out of the didgeridoo, and I noticed that the didgeridoo was almost all odd harmonics. Like there were some even harmonics, but it was mostly all odd harmonics, and that makes sense because tubes, like instruments that are tubes or like cylinders where one end is sealed, will create odd harmonics as a result of properties of waves, just the way that the waves come in and then how they would come back out based on whether there's a sealed end. There's just like a mathematical and physical explanation. It creates odd harmonics, not even ones, right? So the didgeridoo was almost all odd harmonics. There were some even ones, but that's just because it's not like a perfect fucking cylinder. If you think about it, my mouth is a seal for the didgeridoo system, because like when you're playing a didgeridoo, it's a system of both like your armature and your mouth and your lungs and stuff like that, and also the tube itself, right? So I was playing that and I noticed, oh shit, it's all odd harmonics, right? And then while I was playing it, I sang the second harmonic, or the octave above the fundamental. And when you sing the second harmonic, all of the harmonics of my voice that are being sung are all the even ones relative to the didgeridoo, right? Because if I'm singing the second one, then my second harmonic is going to be 2 times the second harmonic or whatever. It's everything's multiplied by 2. So my voice filled in every single even harmonic. And then what I heard sounded like a fucking sawtooth wave. And the oscilloscope became jagged like a sawtooth wave. And every single harmonic through the frequency spectrum got filled out. And I was like, oh shit, tuning is cool. Yeah, it's really neat. And then also, you know, like with the didgeridoo, if you're singing like a fifth, or honestly any frequency that's like somewhat close to the fundamental, then it creates like a hallucinatory fundamental below that, right? Because you're creating like a beat resonant frequency, not resonant. You're creating like a beat frequency or whatever. So if I sing like my didgeridoo's tuned to like 60 hertz, if I sing a fifth above that, if I sing what that's 90, if I sing 90 hertz, then that's actually creating the illusion that there's really a fundamental at 30 hertz below it, which is creating both of those frequencies, which creates, then you hear a 30 hertz sub bass as a result. And so by singing different frequencies, then you're creating lower, you know, sub undertones. Really cool. Capybara. Capybara. Yeah, I like that. Let's put, well, it's kind of clicky, so let's just do some dispersion on this guy. Why is this guy not? Now the problem here is I'm out of notes. I can't shift this down an octave. Okay, let's just move literally everything up 2 octaves. And then we go to pigments, and then we move you down 2 octaves. That's not right. Did I move you down up too many octaves? What's going on here, man? Oh. Oh, I see. I see. I see. I see. I don't see. I don't know what the fuck's going on. That's okay. That's the problem with larger note amounts, right? This is spanning like this is spanning 3 octaves, and I'm like out of notes pretty much. It's kind of obnoxious. Alright, so we can move everything up 1 octave. Yeah, I don't know how you can make a solution for this problem, because, like, there's only 128 MIDI notes. Wonder if the effect could be replicated on a clarinet too? Probably if you can sing into it. You could probably sing into a clarinet. I don't see why not. And yeah, clarinets are all like odd harmonics for the most part, right? So that makes sense. Okay, what was I doing? I'm moving you down an octave. Why do you sound different? That's kind of cool. I think that's pretty good. And Jonathan the piano. How's everyone doing? We got some chill down tempo thing going. It's pretty cool. I have no idea, and I'd like to know too. Once I use 60 EDO and it's been limiting, yeah, that's the problem. This is honestly the highest I've ever gone microtonally and like been successful so far. But I think that's literally as a result of like now I finally understand music theory. My most successful attempts at writing anything decent has been like 7 EDO. Like 7's probably the smallest one that sounds somewhat good. It's only 7 notes. And 17 is also really good, and 22 is really good. And I think that's pretty much those are all the songs that I've like at least enjoyed. Maybe that's just my bias because I like the sound of those tunings as like a gestalt, as the whole. Well, it depends on like your approach, really. Now, I'm only doing decent because I just broke this down into a diatonic scale. I'm kind of cheating. I'm like, it's microtonal, but like really, aside from it sounding like a kind of funny, it's all the exact same music theory. Just because it's diatonic compared to something like 31. Yeah, I imagine 22 and 26 are going to be S tier. 22 is definitely my favorite so far for sure, though I have not explored much. It used to be 17. 17 used to be my favorite, but I'm starting to realize it is a little bit limiting in that like the major third kind of sucks. It's like a super major third. You also mess with rhythm or signatures, not too much. I have a few songs that are in like 6/4, which is like pretty basic. I have some songs where like something I like to do is I do this sometimes where I'll create what is half of 94? 46. We go 40 down. Oh no, that's not it. You can create like rhythm illusions by like having this happen, right? Then we can take the we could take the drums here, right? And then we can double time these drums, put it on repitch mode. But actually, let's put them all in repitch mode. Oh, I need to. We can like fade this guy in over time, right? Tone equal temperament is basically, oh, okay, hold on, there's a whole bunch. I'll go in order. Do I have a theory as to why culturally, globally, music has shifted to 12 mostly? Because 12 notes is really small, and it's also really, really good. It's like, I don't know, there's some kind of objective ways, I suppose, you can measure like how decent different temperaments are for approximating certain intervals, and 12 is like the perfect, basically I think it's all based on the perfect fifth, right? The perfect fifth being like the second most important or consonant harmonic that pretty much is universally heard, right? We have the octave and then 3/2. And 12 tone equal temperament has an extremely accurate approximation of the perfect fifth that doesn't, you don't get a better approximation up until I believe 31 tone equal temperament, which is exponentially and vastly more difficult to like learn to play instruments on, right? So I think that's generally why. And also you can like construct and arrive at the diatonic 7-note scale pretty easily. Like, I could be wrong, but I think it's been independently discovered by like many different cultures, and that's because you can construct the diatonic scale by just stacking perfect fifths over and over on top of each other up until you get to a point where you're like, oh shit, we could just like if you stack a bunch of perfect fifths, you're going to end up getting something extremely close to 1 octave, and if you temper it, meaning you just make it equal, that those number of intervals equal an octave, meaning you'd like change the tuning slightly, then you end up yeah, you end up compromising, and then it's tempered, and then as a result in equal temperament you can modulate to any other key. Why does the perfect fifth, I think it's just because numbers be doing the number thing. Well, tone equal temperament, it's just like if you divide a stick in 12 notes, there's like certain, there are certain markings. Imagine you got a stick and there's certain markings on the stick that are really good, and then you have to divide the stick into equal numbers, and you just keep dividing it by different ones, and it happens to be that 12 is like really accurate for certain intervals that we really like. Yeah, so we use cents to measure everything, and 1200 cents is an octave. It's 1200 just because Western music, we're all used to fucking 12 tone equal temperament. And the perfect fifth is at 702 cents, and 700 cents is 7 semitones. Yeah. 6 EDO is just a whole tone scale, 200 cents. Yeah. So another fun thing to think about is just like all of the prime divisors, or all of the, why can't I think of the right words? 12 is made up of what, 2 times 2 times 3, right? So, or 4 times 3. So 12 has 4 tone equal temperament in it. It has 2 tone equal temperament in it. It has 3 tone equal temperament in it, and it also has 6 tone equal temperament all within it. It has all those notes. Like the tritone, for instance, which is 6 semitones, exactly half, that exists in any equal temperament that is even, right? Because like 22 tone equal temperament, you can divide that into 2. The 11th note is 600 cents. It's the exact same thing. I'm curious why the perfect fifth is so pleasing. Yeah, it's just it's a simple harmonic ratio. So if you play like an octave is twice the frequency. If you sing or play an octave above some other note, the wave is going to fit perfectly within it. Every single harmonic of the note an octave above it is present in the note an octave below it, right? Because it's, every harmonic is like, there's the fundamental, and then there's 2 times the fundamental, 3 times the fundamental, 4 times, etc. And then if you have another thing where its fundamental is 2 times the fundamental of the first guy, then the second guy's harmonic is going to be 4 times the fundamental. The third one is going to be 6 times the fundamental. It's going to be all of the even harmonics. Now, if you use the perfect fifth as the other note that you're playing, it ends up creating it ends up sharing every other harmonic, and it ends up creating, it's like in tune such that if there's a note below, one octave below your fundamental, that note, that imaginary note below, will have every single harmonic that is present in both of those notes, if that makes sense. I feel like that's better to explain like visually, but because the 3/2, okay, here, let's open up operator. The 3/2 ratio, right, just means it's the ratio of the third harmonic to the second harmonic in some sense, right? So that's just straight up, here we got this guy, and then we turn on parallel mode. So if we have this, that, and then let's lower you a bunch. No, that's not it. That's not it. I'm sorry. That hurt my ears too. I'm sorry, everyone. All right, that's a perfect fifth, right? This is the exact same thing as those harmonics are all present if we have 1, 2, and 3, first, second, and third harmonic. We lower this. Oh. Did I fuck up? Oh, okay. Because I'm in a weird tone equal temperament. Adjusting by 12 semitones doesn't actually adjust by an octave. I'm silly. Anyways, the point being that interval, these two notes are the first two are the second and third harmonic. And then if I were to only have the fundamental and have this be a more complex waveform, those two harmonics are still present in it. So if you sing a 3/2 ratio against something, you're basically constructing an imaginary fundamental that is an octave below the thing that you're singing a 3/2 ratio against, if that makes sense. And so if you can apply that to any other like more complex interval, and the more complex intervals you create, the lower that imaginary note is. That's kind of what like the tonic of something is. You can think about every note that you're playing is actually, if it's like, you know, in tune or harmonic or harmonically related, it's all referencing and creating some abstract note below it. So you can think about like chords as ways to change, at least this is how I've come to think about it in my head, but you can think about chords and chord progressions as ways to change the note, the imaginary like fundamental tonic below it, ghost fundamentals. Yeah, that's kind of how I think about harmony in general. And it's something that I've like, you learn a lot also by ear training. For instance, like, you know, the 3/2 ratio, they share so many notes, like they share every other note in common, and the octave shares every note in common. If you like start ear training when you're very first beginning, it's very easy to confuse G, like C to G with C to C, because they're both so consonant and they share so many harmonics. So you can also think about it in terms of like how many harmonics do they share together, like determines consonants. But really it's all just about ratios of numbers and how, you know, beat frequencies working together create like a psychoacoustic effect, I suppose. You can also think about it in terms of polyrhythms, right? Because like a 3/2 polyrhythm, it'll line back up every single time, back on you know, on the downbeat. The same thing applies to anything that's in tune. In 26 EDO, the best 3/2 is 15 steps up. Yes. Also, yo variable, I don't think you were here earlier. I wrote a Python script that generates moments of symmetry depending on different generators. So like here, what this does is it says for every single generator, let's see what moments of symmetry you can generate, which a moment of symmetry is when you stack intervals over and over and over on top of each other, such that at some point you fill a certain criteria. And that criteria is basically, you want there to only be 2 step sizes between everything, right? So if you're in 12 tone equal temperament, like with a piano, and you keep stacking a fifth over and over and over on top of each other, when you get to the point where you stack it up all the way to B, like B right below C, then you fit that criteria where every single note within the scale you've constructed, there's only 2 step sizes, a large step and a small step. If you apply that general principle to any other generator and in any other tuning system, like equal temperament or whatever, you can generate other scales that are like easy to work with. So yeah, that's how I ended up like coming up with this thing over here that ended up sucking. So like the reason why using this technique for generating scales is good or important is because if you stack like a perfect fifth over and over and over again on top of each other to generate a scale, and then that very last note you end up it ends up being diminished, right? In the major scale, like B is creates a diminished fifth above it. You create a scale such that every single note except for the very last one has a perfect fifth above it. It has that generator note, which means you have more harmonic possibilities available to you. So if you use a different generator, for instance, in this guy here, the generator I used was the 7th harmonic, which I forgot what note. I think it was the 21st one. Yeah, it was the 21st one. The 7th harmonic, which you can't get this in 12 tone equal temperament. The 7th harmonic is at like 970 cents, something like that. It sounds super out of tune in 12 tone equal temperament. You get a really accurate representation of it in 21 tone equal temperament. And when you use this as a generator, it told me, hey, you can get 3 different moments of symmetry or scales that have these properties within it. And one of them is basically like a weird pentatonic scale, or like kind of like, it's similar to a whole tone scale, except it has one large step. And same thing with this. This is like a whole tone scale where every single note is the same size, except at the very end you have a really small step. And then there's this weird, terrifying 11-note scale that I haven't touched because it scares me. Crazy to think about how this results from our nature of physics. I wonder if we see the mathematical alignment of perfect fifths from 12 equal divisions in other art mediums. I mean, probably, just because like it's kind of a fundamental truth if you examine if you're trying to find a 3/2 ratio by dividing something into equal chunks. I don't know where else that would where else that kind of approach is used in other art forms besides music. I mean, it would apply to anything time-based, right? Because, you know, music is about dividing like moments of time into equal like chunks or whatever, right? Like that's what rhythm is, that's what harmony is when, you know, you zoom in enough. Now, like what other sensations do we use that's time-based in that way? You know, or that's like I guess there's a sensation of like something like touch. You know, like if you were to sit in a massage chair or something, and then like different parts of your body are getting like or vibrating at like different ratios, but also I don't know what the resolution is of the human body. It's definitely less than the resolution of your ear, because your ear can hear up to 20 kilohertz, right? Like 20,000 cycles per second. So I don't know. Sounds like Drux. Oh, the Aphex Twin thing. Yeah, I think he uses microtonality in certain portions. I don't know how deliberately, but I think he like mistunes or like changes the tuning of stuff. Maybe? I don't know. I honestly, I've only listened to the Drux like once, like 6 years ago. I don't really remember much about it. 26 EDO, it's dead on 704. Yeah. Gram timings. I'm thinking audio visual effects. Yeah, I mean, there's a really cool visualizing polymeters or something. I forgot. Oh my god, there's so many people doing it now. There's one guy who started it all. But it's basically this. It's just like animated polyrhythms. Except it was, no, what was it? It started with a J. Pendulum. There was pendulums in it. Where are you? Anyways, I guess the Virtual Riot, I heard you like polyrhythms video, is like really good. Wait, I think in the Project JDM, yeah, he says it in his description. Project JDM. Right, so like looking at, you know, a series of pendulums or whatever. Why didn't you pop up? Why am I not subscribed to you? Oh, he stopped. Ooh. Anyways, they're all the titles are clickbaity, but this is actually really cool. I forgot how fucking cool this is. It's so fucking sick. Have I seen the music pattern generator on GitHub? No. It's kind of vague. I'm famous! Oh, something's happening. It's gonna happen soon. Are you ready? There we go. And what's really, really cool is I believe, you know, every single one of these guys are moving at some ratio, like perfect integer ratio to like speed to every other thing. And at different moments in the video that are perfectly divisible by other integers, meaning like if you go to like the quote unquote perfect fifth of the timeline in this video, you're gonna see some big cascading effect like what just happened. And it also corresponds to like certain subsets of all the notes. Like for instance, like exactly halfway through the video or whatever, every other note, every other one will make some big boink sound. Whereas at the very end of the video, every single note altogether creates a boink sound. It's really cool. Like, I feel like you feel your brain growing in some weird ass abstract sense. Sometimes there's someone who okay, yeah. So full cycle is 15 minutes, right? Half cycle, third cycle, quarter cycle. This is just 1 over 2, 1 over 3, 1 over 4, 1 over 5. This is just a harmonic series. So like at a seventh, so let's go to an eighth cycle, and about 20 seconds after that, there's going to be a seventh cycle, and then a sixth cycle. So this is going to be the like eighth harmonic, right? And the eighth harmonic is 2 to the third power, right? Which is gonna, this is probably going to be some like very large effect, right? This is probably going to be relatively big. This is going to be less big because seventh is more complex. And then the sixth is going to be in between the eighth and the seventh because this is even less complex, because this is, I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong, but I think this is the case. So like, so that's the eighth. That was the seventh right there. It was only one side, whereas the eighth was both sides. And there's like a smaller number of notes, I think. And then that was the sixth, which had more notes than the seventh. Whoa, I just like looked away. I just looked at the chat and now my vision's like fucking moving because I've been staring at this for so long. It's like the hypnotic spinny things. Anyways, that all that all perfectly correlates and corresponds to like the harmonic series and music theory and microtonality, because it's just all about integer divisions of different ratios and stuff like that. So all right, let's go back to whatever the fuck I was doing here. Where's the fourth? Let's see. Quarter cycle. Yeah, way bigger. And then a third. Whoa. Hold the phone. Wait, let's go back here. This is 1/3. This is 1/3 of a circle. This is perfectly divided into 1/3. Numbers. The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Oh, I forgot I did that. I forgot I made the tempo do weird shit. Here, let's make the tempo do weird shit on the second part. How did I do that again? Okay, that and that. It's the same pattern Venus takes around the sun. Yeah, I mean, elliptical orbits, there's frequencies. Math, dude. And elliptical orbits are described with sine waves. I mean, anything, I guess, that has frequencies is described with sine waves. But that's like where sine waves are present. And, you know, like how long it takes for all the like planets and shit to align around the sun. I mean, it's just the same shit. It's all music, basically. Let's go over here. Or let's move this guy over here. Let's do this instead. Why doesn't that work? Oh, it's backwards. Wait. Is that the same? I don't think that's the same. It's not tuned right. One's at 440. I have to make you 444, I thought. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's called a reset rhythm. Which that song also fucks. That song's awesome. Yeah. Actually, just because I'm feeling all inspired. Y'all should listen to Sevish. You all should do that if you have not. I think it's in 10/4. And it's also in 22 tone equal temperament. So like that's what it sounds like. Like the harmonic progressions are fucking nuts. Anyways. So this is like a reset rhythm, but it's a little bit different in how it works. It's mildly different. Yeah, this album is incredible. Yeah, my favorite microtonal album, probably, for sure. And it's not too difficult to get into. I mean, I have scared some people by recommending this, but they just weren't ready for it. Goddamn normies. Okay, what do we got over here? Alright, let's make you quieter. And then let's add... Oh, let's add shifter delays. That might sound like shit, actually, but I don't know. I wanna try it. Let's go up. Wait. I don't know. Let's go up like a neutral third. Every single time. Something like that. And then we turn on the delay, turn on feedback. filter. Let's do some of that. And my pattern goes to 10/5. Yeah, very Sega Genesis vibes. I agree with that. Maybe I should do that only once every like 4 bars. It happens a little bit quick right after this. Like we should like soak in and feel the change in the melody here for a second before I start scaring the hose, you know? This should go into this. Oh, I guess I should put the same processing on this guy then as well. Because I want this to seamlessly turn into that guy, right? Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's what the issue was. Yeah, that's the real trick for trying to get the Risei rhythm illusions, is you really want this little part to the guy that you're bringing in, the faster tempo repitched guy, needs to be the exact same sound when it transitions back over in the tempo resets. And the only problem when you do this is that it makes the song un-DJable. But fuck 'em. New thing over here. We need a new thing. New thing time. Oh boy. This guy. That's kind of spooky. That's cool. It's just like, it's not super direct, but it feels a little bit off. Can you use this more or less as a tempo trends? Yeah, you totally can. I have a song that I play in my live sets that literally is just, it's like the intro is just a Risei rhythm for the first like half of the song. Like it's used as an introduction. Like it's like a 1.5 minute long Risei rhythm like section, and it's like really jarring and fucking weird. But it's at 90 BPM, and I'll like bring that song in at like 110 BPM and then just adjust it during the Risei rhythm part, and no one can tell. Or like likewise, I could get out from 70 BPM up to 90 or whatever. So it's super useful in that regard. But it'd be kind of tricky for at least this song. I suppose like you could, during this one little section, you could like drop the tempo by like 10 BPM, right? Like we could basically we can make this go down to like 80 right here. It'll be like, why is it sound fucked now? No, I just want this to be at 80. That was weird. I don't know why I did that. That kind of works. Yeah, you change the BPM like that. Like just during these little sections here, you can like throw everyone off. Except, I think one of the things I want to do, kind of hard. I'm gonna do this. Let's consolidate all these kicks. Put them here. Repitch. Really, this note, I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's a little bit too jarring. Do I have velocity assigned to anything here? I don't think I do. Velocity assigned to output volume. Where's the kicks? Kicks go over here. Also, why are there no kicks anymore? What's going on, man? Why did that sounded weird? You also try bringing in not having the highs at the beginning. Feels kind of like an LA noir kind of horror. No, not horror. I don't know. It's uncanny as fuck for sure. Yeah, it is deranged and calm. Interesting. Now, should I add more? I mean, it's pretty good as just like a generally minimal track, so maybe I don't need to like go super overboard with the sound design and the ear candy and stuff like that. Well, I created here. We have this other pigments over here. generally more ambient kind of thing. Guess we'll create like a short break. We can just keep this as like a relatively simple beat, honestly. I think that might be what this is for. Don't you try to modulate your drums a bit? They are a bit linear. Yeah, I'll probably come back to the drums and make them spicier. I don't know what you mean by modulate, like just like adding different patterns and stuff like that. I definitely need to add like fills, like drum fills or something like that. Like at the end of every like 8 bars or something, probably. But aside from that, what else could I do? Oh. Honestly, this track I feel like it's not really that warranted to have like more complex drums, but I probably should still do something, at least in regards to fills and stuff like that. But I feel like this is just like a pretty cool vibe on its own, though it is kind of long if I just duplicate this whole last section over. I could try extending. Yeah, how am I going to structure this song? I'm pretty happy with all of this. Like, this is kind of boring, but like I could add some extra ear candy for this section and then just have an outro and then I'm done. But yeah, I don't know. Also, are there similar artists to Sevish you could recommend? I think, is it Zola? I think Zola has, no, his stuff is more like instrumental, I believe. Mumbo something. How do I have it in my likes? I want to search in my motherfucking likes. Starts with an M, I thought. Mundo World. This is a bunch of microtonal stuff and it's pretty good. He's pretty unknown. I remember really enjoying a lot of his stuff. But in terms of like electronic musicians who do more like ravey breakbeat stuff, okay, Backwatering by Zola is a banger. And Zola also has some YouTube videos on like basics of microtonality and just intonation and stuff like that, that I found to be really enlightening for when I was starting out. Okay, cool. But yeah, I can't really think of any other artists. Oh, there's one guy on YouTube. What is their name? Jumble. Jumble's pretty cool, though his stuff is more all like ambient. Jumble microtonal. Here. The song fucking slaps. 84 EDO. Anyways, slaps. Actually, I ripped the song out of YouTube and then added drums to it because I thought it slapped really hard. Probably play this out at some point. And then I compress it, mix it a little bit differently. Like the fucking macaroni noodle rainbow, it was so crazy. Yeah, it slaps. Slaps. I don't really take any I just added drums. I just added drums to that, but it fucking... Yeah, it's sick. Very good. Okay, let's go back to whatever this is. We can make this... Let's make this start off a little bit more mono. And we'll, like, open up. Yeah, it's a... It's, like, gangster as fuck. Like, in a weird, rainbow macaroni noodle way. Also, I respect the fuck out of this guy, because apparently this guy does, like, world building for all of his music. Like, the little rainbow macaroni noodle is, like, a whole fucking, I don't know, he's got a whole universe for everything, and there's lore and storylines behind everything, which I think is super neat, and I think something I should try exploring to some degree. Maybe in, like, an abstracted sense. I don't want to make anything, like, super direct in terms of, like, interpretation of music. But, because, you know, like, it should be up to the listener at the end of the day. Maybe. I don't know. Something to explore for sure. Fondly go off. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I probably should. I'll do that right now. We need some risers and stuff like that. Also, you're not good. You're not good. Let's just get Noisy Dream Sweep. Classic. Goated. Everyone's favorite sweep of dreams. The noisy kind. This thing. Tonality will get more popular over the years, given how much more accessible it is via Ableton. Yeah, I think, like Yo Variable says, I don't think it's never, you know, gonna be like popular, because it's like, I mean, let's face it, people don't want to put work in to making music, especially like in terms of pop music, like the mainstream pop music, mainstream media, all that stuff. Like, a lot of it is like lowest common denominator, 4 chords, basic, fully explored genres, and it's just marketing. It's just corporations and marketing, really, like, trying to appeal to a base, and you have to put in some work to appreciate microtonal music, I think. At least, I mean, I think that'll definitely shift, and especially as like more accomplished musicians and stuff start picking up microtonal music, because I think one of the reasons why there's such a drought in good microtonal music is because most of it isn't being made by like professional musicians or even like great or good musicians. It's mostly being made by like mathematicians and theorists who aren't necessarily trying to evoke like a deep feeling with music as artists typically do, but more so exploring and trying to map out uncharted territory, which is also great in its own right, but that also can make it a little bit more inaccessible when the music isn't good, you know? Um, yeah, because it's been there for decades, explored with, even Parch, Harry Parch, right, has been working with it a century ago, but it's been very time consuming, so perhaps with the tools it might take off. Yeah, and everyone can do it now. It's easier than ever before and is much, much, much more accessible. I think largely one of the reasons why it's difficult to get into is just because like the pedagogy, the way of learning, there's like a very high barrier to entry, and it's made extremely inaccessible because these same most of these same theorists who that they're not good at explaining their theories. Like a theory is only as good as you can share it, as you're capable of explaining what it's about, right? So I think it needs a lot of work done in terms of educators and people trying to create like a formalized system for understanding what's going on. I plan on trying to do that and work on that more, though I don't know. I don't know. Definitely I need to get I need to like upgrade my video production skills, I think, because I think a lot of these explanations and ways to really intuit and understand stuff involves like visual demonstrations and like visualized like mathematical algorithms and stuff like that. And so I'd have to like learn to create visuals, I suppose, for all the explanations and actually put more time and work. Because I think like me yapping at a camera, um, it can be more difficult for me to understand like what's intuitive and what isn't, because I already understand this stuff now. And I think that's also a reason why it's really hard to teach people, because a lot of these people have been studying this shit for years and they often take for granted what is obvious and what isn't. Um, it's tricky. Use Maximus P. I don't. Is Maximus P that great for creating like visualization? Like, I feel like if I were to try to create a series, I would want to use like 3 blue, 1 browns, like visual creating software. Don't you like to stay underground? I like to listen to good music, and I want more people to make good music. Really, I feel like it's uncharted, unexplored territory, and there's so much stuff there that is yet to be explored, and there's so many capable people who, if they like were interested or had it in their hands, they can make some incredible ground pushing stuff. I think we should all push and create something new, because I don't know, we can, it's unexplored. Yeah, 3 Blues vids are goated. Yeah. Yeah, and I know he has like, I think his visual making programs and stuff is all in Python, and I think it's open source, so maybe I should try to learn that and see if I could create something. um I don't know. And something cool about making like videos and teaching and stuff like that is it cements my own understanding of everything, right? Like that was huge for me, understanding like psychoacoustics and stuff like that when I made like my stereo imaging videos. So basically the pedagogy is bad, but it's getting better and more people are slowly getting interested in it. It's really surprisingly niche, I think, given how cool of a subject it is. I am surprised by how little people care about it, given what you can do with it. It's got infinite fucking possibilities, infinite horizons. Like you can there's so much there to explore and so much music to create. And it blows my mind how many people are like, 12 notes is enough. I think it's honestly out of laziness for the most part. I think a lot of people just don't want they make easy justifications for not learning things that will take effort, which I did that for a long time, so I understand, and that's why I feel comfortable saying that. But I think if we can make it more approachable, and especially considering like no one has an attention span nowadays, if I can create like a video series with flashy visuals or something like that, that might gauge people's interest just long enough for them to get hooked into it, and then start exploring it more on their own. Because right now, if you really want to fundamentally understand like regular temperament theory or tuning theory and like just intonation and stuff, you have to do a lot of reading and like focused self-studying, and I think like a video series if more people were to explore that, could create a more straightforward and easy path. All right, let's go back here. Okay. It's not as scary as you think. Like straight up, you just have to pick a tuning, right? I mean, if you're in Ableton, it's like easier than ever before. And then create a scale. Okay, I guess creating the scale can be like lightly tricky in the beginning, but like if you, for instance, like in 22 tone equal temperament, okay, like this song here sounds cool. I'm not doing anything different really from like 12 tone equal temperament. This song is actually really, really simple because, or it's in 26, not 22. I think I said 22, because all the notes that I have are, for the most part, all of they're it's just a minor scale, basically. Like all I did to begin with is I found C and I drew in a note at every single, you know, C and then D, and then I go up until E, and then I go up into F, right? This is just all the white notes on the piano. That's all I did, right? And I'm like, this is our thing. And then I was like, okay, let's just make it so that A is our root, because I want to have a microtonal thing, right? So I can shift these guys. Yeah, you can shift everything up here, up an octave, and then you just transpose this to be like C. Now we're in C minor in a diatonic scale, but in 26 tone equal temperament. And so you can just write the same exact types of melodies and stuff like that, but the only difference is that like now the interval sizes are way different. In terms of like a small step is 2 notes and a large step is 3 notes, right? So it actually has a 3-to-2 ratio in terms of how far the distance is. So you get a different, there's a kind of a different like quality of sound that comes with that. And then like everything else is just intuitive, and then you just draw notes. Ultimately you're just drawing notes. Just find some subset of notes that sounds kind of good, and then just scribble notes in, and then you'll get something. At the very least, it's inspiring. It sounds different and it can inspire you, and I feel like it's a great way to get out of like writer's block or something. You barely wrap your head around chromatic. I can barely wrap my head around chromatic. There's too many fucking notes. It's 12 notes. I can't do that. But here, I made a subset. Now it's only 7 notes. This is easy. And then like this section over here where I start to like lean a little bit more into microtonality. Wait, was it this section? I think it's over here. No, it was over here, sorry. Over here, I just went in and individually, I was like, let's just nudge this guy up 1 chromatic step and just see how that sounds, right? Sounds fucking sick. And part of the reason why it sounds sick is because I've established for a long time by looping the same motif over and over again. So I was like, okay, this is the sound. And then by adding that slight variation, you're like, oh, word, right? I think if someone were to listen to this for the very first time, you might be able to tell, oh, it's not tuned like normally. But when you loop something enough times over and over and over again, you get used to it really, really quickly. Like just one more sound. I don't know what. But I mean, I guess we have all these things here. Okay, that's a song structure, I think. Pretty much a song. What's up, Mr. Leaky? Thank you for the kind words. We got, I don't know. I did the, remember, like, a week or two ago, I did some, like, song slowing down crazy shit. I did it again. Back at it again. Going down from 94 to 46, and back up. That's not quite. It doesn't sound good. Why don't you sound good? What's your deal, man? What's your problem? Let's make warp all this. Make pitch. I don't know why that sounds weird. Oh, that's cool. When the okay, that's why there's delays going on, right? And then when the tempo jumps back up, then the delay, which is synced to the grid, is jumping up, which then creates that little repitching sound, right? Good night. Pierre. Thanks for tuning in and chatting. It's been fun. Yeah, I don't know. I got like a song here. I don't really know what else to do. I need to add like more ear candy and interesting shit. We should add all these little things back in probably. We could probably add these guys over here. We should add a thing here. Drop 2. Maybe like, okay, maybe we can add like some kind of faint like wobbling bass lines that are like far in the background. Right, so like we can do, yeah, operator on this guy, then let's have this guy be up, do something like that. Okay, that sounds so bad. Then we can add an auto filter. I want to add a little bit of noise. White noise sound good? No, it wouldn't, but we make this a square wave. And then this guy. And then we add wobble on it. And then this guy, we get rid of you. That's kind of cool. And then we add roar to it. Probably know about oblique strategies? No, I do not. Kind of more in the background so we can add some erosion, make it a little bit more digital sounding if we can. Less erosion. We do some like kind of movement like that. I don't know, something like that. The thing. Then we introduce you over here. You have a decent amount of reverb, some delay. Some like variation of it, maybe like. We can like maybe do some call and response shit. It's not great. I mean, the sound is also not good because it's clipped to shit right now, but we can go like something like that. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, man. it's good like when it like temporarily shows up. Maybe I'll add some like cool filtering or something. What am I looking for? My brain, what's happening to my brain? Swap delay. No, not swap delay. Stereo filter swap delay. Duh. That part, I don't know about this guy. Okay, yeah, I'm losing objectivity, so I think I'm gonna call it a wrap. All right, what do I call this? What do I call this tune? We're 24 11. No, that's 14. 24 11 09. Let's look through the chat and see if there's something cool that was said. Everything is math. Math is everything. Oh, I missed that comment about harmony bloom. Or lose rhythm. Da 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 da. I don't know what the fuck to call this. Gloomy. Oh God. I'm just gonna throw in a Mr. Leaky word right there, and then 26 at 94 BPM. Cool. Okay, folks. Thanks for tuning in. This was a fun little stream. It was pretty good. I feel like it was productive. Got to verbalize a lot of microtonal concepts that I've never successfully verbalized before, so that was cool. Poop.als. Damn. You're like 5 seconds late. I would have totally done it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I will stream probably on Monday. Yeah, I think that'll happen. But yeah, it was fun. All right. Take care, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.